Did you know that tardigrades, also known as water bears, measure just around 1 millimeter? It's hard to imagine how these tiny creatures can endure extreme environments that would challenge even the hardiest of species. Tardigrades were first described in 1777 by German zoologist Johann August Ephraim Goes, who affectionately called them kleiner Wasserbar, or little water bears, due to their resemblance to bears. Later, the term tardigrade was coined by Italian biologist Lazzaro Spallanzani, referring to their unhurried, tortoise-like movements. Despite their small size, tardigrades can have up to 40,000 cells, comparable to some single-celled organisms like bacteria. Fascinatingly, there are over 900 known species of tardigrades, with the largest being Echinuscoid sigismundi, which reaches up to 1.5 millimeters as an adult. These remarkable water bears can be found all around the world, from the depths of 5 meters below the Antarctic ice to the lush tropical rainforests. They inhabit a wide variety of environments, ranging from the sea floor to towering mountaintops, scorching hot springs, and even the inhospitable interior of volcanoes. Astoundingly, tardigrades can survive for up to 30 years in laboratory conditions without food, feeding on the cells of flora and fauna, bacteria, and sometimes even other tardigrades. But what makes tardigrades so exceptional is their ability to withstand extreme conditions that would be fatal to most organisms. Tardigrades require water around their bodies to prevent drying out and enable gas exchange, which is why they often live within a thin layer of water, such as on damp moss or lichen. Prepare to be astonished by a list of death-defying scenarios that tardigrades can endure, putting human beings to shame. They hold the title for being the most heat-tolerant animals, surviving temperatures exceeding 150 degrees Celsius (302 degrees Fahrenheit) and as low as -200 degrees Celsius (328 degrees Fahrenheit). Not only can tardigrades survive freezing temperatures, but the longest recorded time a tardigrade spent frozen in ice is over 32 years. In November 1983, a pair of tardigrades were frozen and then revived by Japanese scientists on Christmas Day in 2015. Tardigrades can also cope with pressures 6 times higher than those at the deepest parts of the ocean. Additionally, they can withstand oxygen deprivation and the low pressure of a vacuum. In fact, they've proven to be the hardiest animals in outer space. In 2007, scientists sent 2 tardigrade species into orbit in a spacecraft, exposing them to the airless vacuum of space and levels of radiation that would incinerate a human. Astonishingly, 1/3 of the organisms returned to Earth alive, and 10% of those went on to mate and lay eggs. But how do tardigrades achieve these incredible feats of survival? When faced with challenging conditions, tardigrades undergo a process called cryptobiosis. They curl up, reducing their surface area, and enter a state known as a ton. During this period, their metabolic activities temporarily halt, mimicking a state of death. However, once the surrounding environment improves, tardigrades revive and resume their metabolism. To preserve their cells during cryptobiosis, tardigrades replace the fluid in their bodies with proteins. Remarkably, some tardigrades in dried moss have been revived after more than a century in this cryptobiotic state. However, despite their amazing abilities, tardigrades are not technically considered extremophiles. Extremophiles have evolved to thrive in very demanding conditions, whereas tardigrades can survive in such circumstances for a limited time before eventually perishing. True extremophiles include the Saharan desert ant, which can withstand scorching temperatures of 53 degrees Celsius (127.4 degrees Fahrenheit), and the Himalayan jumping spider, discovered at altitudes of 6,700 meters, 21,980 feet, on Mount Everest. There is still so much to be discovered about these diminutive record breakers. The full range of environments they can inhabit remains unknown. In fact, it was only in 2016 that the first video of tardigrades mating became available. Some species even exhibit asexual reproduction, with females laying eggs that develop without fertilization, highlighting their remarkable adaptability. With their extraordinary survival skills, tardigrades might even outlive us all. They could withstand cataclysmic events like large asteroids crashing into Earth or gamma-ray bursts from supernovas. So this is today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe Curiosity Fusion for regular dose of curiosity. Bye.